Good morning, commodities traders. Welcome back to Commodities Update, where we do technical analysis on natural gas, UNG, oil, the US dollar, gold, and silver. So we'll be looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as most likely scenario where price will be heading into later next week. And I won't be here next week. I'm going on vacation, so I will be updating you guys the following week. And so let's get started. Let's take a look at natural gas. So natural gas, pretty much when we talked about it this week, that we bounced off this support, which was the prior strong resistance. So that level was pretty much where bulls need to bounce off of. Otherwise, it's game over. And they did. So they did. They bounced and big retracement. And I talked about that either this is going to be equilibrium where we tighten up, or we're going to get a bull break and potentially retest back up to this major resistance. As you guys can see, this is the long-term resistance here. Rejection, 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 rejection. And currently, we're not there yet. But if bulls continue for another move up, we are pretty much going to be potentially there. Quite a bit away. Probably about 6%, 5.7. So that's still a decent move. But we'll see if bulls can pull it off. And if they do pull it off, breaking this resistance right here, their next objective is to break this high. If that confirms, that's the very first weekly uptrend in any one of us can probably remember, because it's been going on for there's a couple here that was mostly like a fake out, but none of it follow through for the weekly uptrend. So yeah, just call it ever since that big drop, we haven't really gotten any weekly uptrends that are confirmed. So now you guys can see big move up. Now bulls have a ton of space for that weekly uptrend to form. Unfortunately, they did pull back quite a bit, but bulls did play defense and offense, so they have a strong move up. So once we break above to a higher high, above this high, that's a weekly uptrend confirmed. So first objective for bulls, break that longer term, obviously longer term resistance line. That they do that, their next objective is to confirm their very first weekly uptrend. Long time. And obviously if that weekly uptrend confirms, we pretty much mark a longer term bottom. And as we'll see if they can pull it off. And as of now, no signs of red flags yet. Let's zoom in a little bit here. Yeah, no signs of red flag. It kind of just popped up, dropped a little bit. It's still going. So no signs of red flags here. No signs of slowdown yet for bulls. And let's take a look. 8 hour as well above the EMA. You can see EMA was acting resistance on the way up. Now it's acting as support again. So EMA was acting support on the way up, and on the way down it was acting as resistance. And after we got through this, now it's acting as support again. So that's good. Next pop, let's say we come back a little bit. I want to see the EMAs continue to act as support just like it did twice over here on the way up, and potentially break through that. Maybe we'll get something like a hit resistance, and this time I want to see a shallow pullback. I don't want to see something like this again, because we get something like that again, that's a little bit of a red flag. But shallow pullback, you bounce off of there and then go higher, break it. That would be the most ideal scenario. Or we just bull fly here, chop around here, bull fly here, and then break above there. That would be the most ideal scenario for bulls, or we just break through that. But since it is a longer term resistance, the chances of we just flying through it is a little bit less likely. But anything can happen with natural gas, because significant moves with natural gas pretty quick. But yeah, ideal scenario, get a slight rejection, get a bull flag here, chop around, shallow retracement, and then break above there. Another idea, UNG getting that weekly uptrend confirmed would be the worst likely scenario. First scenario that ever happens. And we'll see if they can pull that off as well. And 8 hour is going to be our guide as well. Right now, on the way up, support. On the way up, it's acting as support again. Yeah, you can see once we broke below it, you see it acting as resistance. Now it bounced off there 3 times as well. And let's see if we can act as support on the way up. Break through here. And then that'll be that next level of that weekly uptrend we're looking at. Breaking. All right, if you guys learn anything, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And if you guys like to support the channel, feel free to go to the Patreon link. As well as if you guys want to learn more about techno analysis and any other things you guys are looking at, techno analysis, how to better trade with your mental game, and everything, go to that Patreon link. And let's keep going. Let's take a look at oil. So oil, big drop, flushed through that prior support. You can see this was acting as resistance. Resistance finally started acting as support after we broke above it, acted as support again above it. And we were in that megaphone, and it finally broke bare of that megaphone. We've been talking about this megaphone forever. Well, it's been, and it broke bare right here. And currently, we are pretty much just backtesting the breakout point. So this maroon line is now acting as a resistance again. If we come back to it, if we come back over here, it's kind of rejection here as well. And those just been weak. And as long as the daily downtrend is intact, we'll just let it keep on going and don't fight the trend. At this moment, we have a weekly downtrend as well. Big move down, pivot being set, and a lower low. So that's a weekly downtrend confirmed as well once we broke through that. Longer term, it does look more like an equilibrium. Big move up, move down, move up within the same move, big move down. So it could tighten up into later of the year if it just decides to not like equilibrium on a weekly. We'll see about that. Yeah, it could do that. Pretty much remaining bound at this moment. Even over here, you can see coming back from 2021 December, big move up, big move down, up. It just tightens up. You can see this tiny range here. So it's been shaping up for 3 years. Yeah. Even when we come down here and you can still keep going. So we will keep watch on that. Look, see if this not as clear. I mean, you could do something like that just for a visual guide or something more like that. Yeah. It kind of goes back here as well. You can see resistance, 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 resistance. A longer term timing range that you guys will be looking at for a while. All right, so let's take a look at US dollar. So US dollar popped pretty hard because of Canadian rate cut, and the ECB also did a rate cut, but we didn't. So that means the dollar is going to be stronger. Until we cut, the dollar is probably going to be a little bit stronger as well. And so we get that big pop on. Sorry, that's not right. We got that big pop on Friday because of the chops number, actually. But because we cut on Wednesday, the Bank of Canada cut on Wednesday, or it was Tuesday, I forgot. But anyways, but yeah, if the US don't cut, it means that their dollar, obviously, the dollar would be stronger compared to Canadian. So USD divided by CAD is obviously going to be stronger. But anyways, the dollar popped here on Friday because of the extreme hot job data, and we'll see. Now that the daily downtrend is still technically intact, because I remember talking about this where I said this is more so just a double top for me, even though it did make a higher high. But as long as the pivot is still intact, so if we don't break above Thursday's high, then the downtrend is still intact for me. Look on that. And it looks like the tiny range is going to be continuing as well. We've been talking about this weekly tiny range for a while. Big move up, big move down, big move up, big move down. And we can just continue to tighten up into or closer to September until we get our rate cut. Or we'll see when they decide to do it. You know, next thing we could get some like unemployment data or something, jobs rollover, and then maybe we'll get a cut earlier, but who knows, or get a cut later. But as of now, it's pricing for September. But anything could change there. And unfortunately, because of the US dollar pop, we got a big drop in the metals, both gold and silver. And I think we talked about this head and shoulders potentially forming up as well. Even back here, I was talking about that already, and ended up forming. So we got a big pop, and next thing we know, we kind of formed that right shoulder. Now we kind of dropped through there, and we are pretty much at the neckline at this moment. You can see right here, pretty much the neckline. So which is all these are traded. See all these volume traded here. So if we break through that, that's a bear break for the head and shoulders confirming. That means it's a Well, it's technically in a daily downtrend already, but we'll probably get a weekly one. Let's see. Technically, we're in a weekly downtrend already as well. Move up. There's a pivot being set here. But yeah. There, we get a bear break on the neckline and probably get more follow through on the downside if that happens. I guess if we break through here, then there's not a lot of support here, right? It's just straight shot up. So it'll probably come down to closer to here, to the 2200 range, psychological support if that happens. Break through here. All right, so we got silver, same thing. Got that head and shoulders look. Also in a downtrend now. Bringing me down, lower high, lower low. So that's a downtrend. And silver has a little bit more support because we're coming to this structure right here. So yeah, it needs to bounce pretty much here. If not, then we'll come down closer to this this level, or this $28 range, which is a higher breakout of this tiny range. You can see this level should act as support as well, closer to here, 28. Yeah. No signs of bounce yet, though, for both gold and silver at this moment. Pretty much just closed at the low of the day. So that's a red flag. That just means that bears could have probably taken it lower if they had more time, but they just ran out of time. So if we could just get a shallow bounce, that could be a bear flag, and then we can head lower. How this bounce ends up playing out on Monday. If it's a shallow bounce, then it could just form a bear flag and continue lower. All right, that's all I got for you guys. Have a great rest of you guys' weekend. And yeah, I'll be gone next week. So I'll see you guys the following week. And yeah, feel free to comment if you guys got any questions. And I will see you guys next week. Take care.